Have you ever wondered why some people seem to create extraordinary change without using forcing or without controlling anything, while others struggle endlessly to make life happen? What if the real secret is not how much force you use, but the level of consciousness you live from? This is the powerful wisdom which is explored in the book Power versus Force, the journey from fear, desire, anger, and control towards courage, acceptance, understanding, love, joy, and peace. And this wisdom is not merely a theory. Great leaders like Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King Jr. demonstrated the power of nonviolence, love, courage, and higher principle to create massive transformation without relying on hatred or aggression. And in the modern times, teachers like Dr.Joe Dispenza have brought renewed attention to the power of transforming our inner state, thoughts, emotions, and consciousness. So perhaps the secret to changing your life is not to fight harder against the outer world. Perhaps it is to change what is happening within you first. In today's video, let us discover this hidden journey from force to power and how raising our own consciousness may change the way we see ourselves, our life, and the world around us. So guys, welcome back to our magical life. Today, I just wanted to talk to you about the significance of our inner state. Means the consciousness level from which we operate every day, every moment, which decides our life, which means our life depends on the consciousness level at which we operate, or our inner state. So if you really want to change or make changes in your life, you need to understand that what is your inner state, or what is the consciousness level at which you are living now. Before going forward, let me show you the consciousness chart which is published in the Touch for Health Kinesiology Association Journal by John Meager, and this is also published by David Hawkins in his book Power versus Force. In this book, Power versus Force, David Hawkins explains how our state of consciousness influence how and what we experience in our life. This book states that. Let me also show you how this consciousness chart look like. This is the extract of the consciousness chart. Our consciousness level ranges from 0 to 1000. Below 200 value represents our states associated with force, limitation, and destructive patterns. And 200 and above represents constructive expressions of power. And if you see 700 to 1000 represents enlightenment, means the state experienced by our enlightened masters or yogis, etc. That's the reason why even in the presence of the yogis, our wishes are instantly manifested. So this is the map of consciousness. It ranges from 20 to 1000. All the ranges are given here, and all the states are also given in this chart. The major dividing point, if you see in this chart, is 200, which is associated with our inner state, courage. The article, this particular article, this book describes the level below 200 as destructive levels and the level above 200 as the constructive levels. Now let us understand why 200 is considered as important turning point. This book explains that the consciousness level 200 as a threshold between force and power. Below 200 level of consciousness, our inner state tends to dominate by emotions such as fear, desire, anger, pride, guilt, shame, grief, etc. And at 200 level of consciousness, courage becomes the beginning of more empowered way of living. And above 200, the qualities such as trust, optimism, willingness, acceptance, understanding, love, joy, peace become increasingly prominent in us, isn't it? So the important insight here is that the shift from force to power begins internally. Here, force means that when we are in the consciousness level or inner state, which is lesser than 200 value, we try to control or we try to force the world through our fear, through our anger, through our manipulation or desire. But when our inner state or the consciousness level is about 200 or more, we begin to respond through courage, acceptance, understanding, and love. Means that our inner state becomes so powerful that we need not force or control the world for anything. Now let us understand what influences our consciousness. Our consciousness is influenced by many aspects of our environment and our lifestyles. This includes our belief system, our world view, our self-esteem, our friends, our family, our diet, our lifestyle, our language, the books and material we read, our home environment, our work environment, our career, our sports, social media we observe, movies, music, and where we place our attention means our focus. Whether we focus on giving things to others or getting things from them, all these matters. Our consciousness is not shaped by one thing alone. It is continually influenced by what we repeatedly consume, think about, believe about, and focus upon. Now let us see what are the effects of lower state of consciousness in our life. People operating in very low states of consciousness are experiencing low self-esteem, feelings of powerlessness, low energy, poor emotional well-being, and a sense of unworthiness, repetitive negative beliefs. And when you are in the negative emotional state, this will lead you to negative belief system, and that will lead you to negative interpretation of life situations, and this will strengthen or this will retain you in the same state. Means you will remain in that loop again and again. For example, if a person experiencing grief or sorrow or pain, he may develop a belief that life lost in its meaning, isn't it? So in that time, creating a more empowering belief can help him to transform the current emotional experience. The purpose of this example is to illustrate how by changing the meaning assigned to an experience we experience can change our emotional state. So the lesson here is that in case of anything unpleasant happened in our life, you may not be able to change what happened, but you can change the meaning you give to that what is happening. And thus you can change your inner emotional state. For example, now let us see how the emotions such as fear creates a threatening perception of life. For a person who experiences fear, the consciousness level according to the chart is 100. For this person, the world may appear threatening. He or she will always expect something bad to happen. And this attention will always become focused on, and his or her attention will always be focused on potential dangers, and his or her attempt is always to protect himself or herself from imagined threats. So the way out from this is to focus on what is good and supportive in every situation, rather than constantly anticipating danger. So the lesson here is that what you repeatedly focus on becomes the lens through which you experience your reality or your life. So be careful on what you focus on every moment, because your emotional state decides your life experience which you create. Practices such as gratitude helps us in conquering such emotional state and the life experiences created by such emotional states such as fear. So the next question is that how to raise our consciousness level. The most important factors in raising our consciousness level there are two factors. One is the focus, and the other is the meaning which we are giving to that particular experience. So number one is that where you put your focus at every moment in your life, in every life experience, that decides what you attract in your life. So the number one is that where you are focusing. Number two is the meaning you give to what is happening to you at this moment. For example, if for the same event, if we give different meaning, and when you give a different meaning, your response will be entirely different, which leads to different emotional state instead of fear or anger. And hence you will be in a different state of consciousness. So our focus, it changes the consciousness level we are in. So the consciousness level is influenced by how you interpret the situation or the circumstance. This is really important to understand. At lower consciousness level, we focus primarily on ourselves. According to this article, when our consciousness level is below 200, our attention is primarily focused on ourselves, means our ego. And above 200, our attention increasingly shifts towards others. Means when you are in the higher consciousness level, you become less preoccupied with your ego and more concerned with contribution, acceptance, and service. This means that the more consciousness expands, the less life becomes exclusively about me and my ego. So instead of that, when your consciousness expands, instead of focusing on me and my ego, your attention begins to shift towards how can I contribute? How can I help? How can I understand? How can I serve? Or how can I share? How can I create something beneficial for others? So another thing to note from this particular article is that people operating in lower level of consciousness may hold on to their past events. They will always be in their past. They will repeatedly revisit their painful experience again and again. And they always define their present identity through what happened in the past. But when a person is moved to a higher consciousness level at 200 or above, they accept the past. They always be present with what is happening now. Means they will always be in the present moment. They will avoid continually coloring their present moment with their past experiences. They look for possibilities in the moment, in the future also. So the powerful lesson here is that the past can become either a prison or a teacher, depending on the meaning you give it to that particular incident. Now let us see the power versus force in leadership. This article also illustrates Mahatma Gandhiji as an example of power overcoming force. Gandhiji did not rely primarily on weapons or physical aggression. His approach was based on love, reason, reverence for life, non-violence, etc. So this article presented this as an example how an inner power can influence large group of people without relying on destructive force. So similar is the case with Martin Luther King Jr. His approach emphasized, similar to Mahatma Gandhiji, non-violence, tolerance, equality, freedom, etc. Now let us see how power influences our relationships. People with a lower state of consciousness express themselves through judgment, blame, aggression, fear, greed, separatedness. And people with higher state of consciousness express themselves through love, acceptance, respect, understanding. So this article therefore explains that true satisfying relationship require a shift towards the higher state of consciousness rather than attempts to control or dominate the other person. Relationship lesson is like this. Instead of thinking, how can I make this person believe the way I want to? How can I bring love, acceptance, understanding, and respect into this relationship? So, even in the business area also, generally the principle of business is driven primarily by the greed, dishonest, self-interest, exploration, etc. But instead of that, if the business is focused on serving others and creating value in their life, success will definitely follow. Another aspect discussed in this book is that why fighting a problem can sometimes reinforce the problem. If there is a problem arise in your life, if you approach towards that problem based on the aggression, lack of acceptance or lack of understanding, then the basic problem may be continued rather than resolved. So the deeper principle here is that what you resist through force may sometimes become more deeply rooted. Next, the most important and interesting concept that author is explaining here in this book is the attractor fields. So according to this, when you operate from love and joy, you tend to attract people, you tend to attract events, and you tend to attract circumstances that are harmonious with those states. But when you operate from fear, anger, or grief, you may continue experiencing similar situations that reinforce these emotional states. So this creates a cycle. So your state of consciousness decides your perception, and this decides how you behave in a situation. And how you behave in a situation decides your experiences, and your experiences reinforces your consciousness state or your inner state. So From this, it is very clear that your consciousness level at this moment decides what you will be manifesting or what you will be attracting into your life, which means that you are the creator of your life through your consciousness level or your inner state. So, to change your life, if you want to change your life, you need to change your consciousness level or your inner state. Next, this book also explains a very powerful and a different concept, which is becoming happy before achieving something. The general approach of people with lesser level of consciousness is that I will achieve something and then I will become happy. But for the people with higher consciousness, their approach is entirely different. For them, they will cultivate happiness first and allow achievement to arise from that particular inner state. If you see Dr. Joe Dispenza's workshops and meditations also adopt this same principle for powerful manifestation of anything such as perfect health, abundance of wealth, career success, manifesting loving relationship, etc. He used the same principle. So Dr. Joe Dispenza's workshops and meditation guides you to create your inner state first. Means to create a state of higher consciousness within us to achieve anything you want in your real life. And this article also explains why material desire cannot create lasting peace within us. So the consciousness level of desire is 124. So a person at that state may believe that if I get more, I will finally be fulfilled. But this article states that our desire will lead us to acquisition, and the acquiring something will temporarily give us happiness, but later on it develops to a fear of losing it, and this again leads to a new desire of having it permanently or possessiveness for that particular thing. This will lead to more seeking. So it becomes a cycle. Even after getting what you wanted, the person may continue wanting something else or to sustain that what he already got. So the key insight here is that external things can provide temporary pleasure, but they cannot guarantee lasting inner peace. Then this article also states that true peace comes from within us, and it also presented as a central goal of all the spiritual traditions, the discovery of the kingdom of heaven within. What we seek is the peace or the kingdom of heaven. So, in simple words, when my life becomes perfect, I will be peaceful. This will be the mindset when our consciousness level is low. So instead of that, when you improve your consciousness level, it will be shifted to I can develop peace within myself even while life comes or life continues to change. So the author is also explaining about another important thing, which is the consciousness level is not fixed. We have different areas of life, isn't it? Relationships, health, finance, career, etc. And a person does not necessarily operate at one single consciousness level in all the areas. Some people may demonstrate high consciousness level professionally. The same person may respond from anger in relationships. Another person may be courageous in one situation but fearful in another situation. So the core transformation presented through this article is that it's a journey from our lower consciousness level to higher consciousness level. For example, from shame to courage, from guilt to responsibility, from grief to acceptance, from fear to courage, etc. And this is essentially the journey from force to power described throughout the document. So finally, the most powerful lessons from this document is number one, your outer life is strongly influenced by your inner state or your consciousness level. So to change your life, change your inner state or change your consciousness level. And the consciousness level increase when we embody higher emotions through the higher states such as love, forgiveness, acceptance, understanding, respect, gratitude, etc. This is why gratitude practices are so powerful. Where you place your attention, number two, this is number two. Where you place your attention matters, means your focus decides your emotions and hence your inner state. So be careful on what you focus on. Number three, the meaning you give to an experience transform your response to that. Number four, you don't have to remain defined by your past. Number five, fear makes the world appear threatening, but courage opens possibility. Number six, anger seeks control, but acceptance and understanding creates greater inner freedom. Number seven, force try to make reality conform to your wishes, but power arises from aligning with higher qualities such as love, courage, acceptance, and understanding. So, true power does not require any violence. Healthy relationships are built on love, acceptance, respect, rather than blame and control. So, sustainable success comes from serving others rather than merely trying to get from others. Happiness does not have to be postponed until you achieve your goals. This is the biggest secret. Cultivating the desired inner state of the consciousness level is the first step to approaching your achievement. Your environment, your relationships, your beliefs, the social media you watch, your language, your lifestyle, and your focus can all influence your state of being or your consciousness level. Consciousness can differ across different areas of your life. The ultimate journey is from self-focus or ego focus towards contributing and serving others. The final message of this powerful document is that measure your success not only by what you get, but by what you give others. If I say the summary in one sentence, the central message of power versus force as presented in this article, it is that lasting transformation does not come from forcing the things or forcing the external world to change. It comes from raising the quality of our own consciousness, means moving from fear, desire, anger, blame towards courage, acceptance, understanding, love, peace, joy, harmony, and service. So all the practices we do, such as meditations, healing through Ho'oponopono, EFT, or other modalities, gratitude practices, all are meant for this transformation only. So finally, for our Magical Life family, we have different videos on healing, gratitude practices, gratitude meditations, Dr. Joe Dispenza's complete course, and meditations. All are meant for this transformation to reinvent the power within you. I'm giving all the links to the end of the video. Thank you guys.